In this series, even as we're getting deep into it, we're talking about if growth is your goal, if growth is your intention, then this is your worst goal. That worst goal is a good goal. It's what motivational speakers around the globe talk about. They talk about comfort. When a motivational speaker is coming your way, they drop this word millionaire a lot. How to be a millionaire, I'm a millionaire or whatever it is. They talk about comfort. They peddle comfort a lot. But I'm here to tell you that comfort is the worst goal you can ever have. I know I need to have that car. I know I need to have a podcasting empire, right? Okay, now that's not even comfort. That's a goal that is for growth. I know I need to have that car. I know I need to have all this nice living and so on. Fine living. There's even a channel called Fine Living. But that is the worst goal you can be able to have in life. And I'll explain to you shortly why that is, even as we go deeper into this. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Life Signatures podcast with Lawrence Namale. Lawrence is a life coach, author, and keynote speaker who loves to tackle different topics on purpose, productivity, and resilience. His mission in life is to awaken all your boundless possibilities available in you. Life Signatures podcast is dedicated to bring to reality every single person who knows that deep down in their gut, there's got to be more to life than this. And now, here is your host, Lawrence Namale.
Life Signatures episodes are brought to you by africanbooks.com, which is an online ebook platform that seeks to broadcast the African Christian voice to the world. As such, they have become a hub for African content, connecting African writers and publishers with a global reading audience. Publishing your books on their site is free and easy, with authors having full control over their content and the price they choose to sell at it. I was personally blown away by the concept that africanbooks.com is coming up with. Things like no content from their site or their app is going to be run on laptops so that people can easily copy. In other words, your content as a writer is restricted from digital multiplication or digital copying. So you remain intact with your information. And the other concept that I got so blown away with was the fact that in some time to come, in due course, africanbooks.com will be starting to announce African Writer of the Year. In other words, there will be competitions in all African countries to figure out who is the best published author. And I also fell in love with the fact that countries can actually compete against each other. We can have African authors going at it after each other, and your book as an author will be reviewed and have some stars and recommended upon that particular platform. The thing is that it's an answer to Amazon.com. With Amazon, what happens? You've got to have an account in the Americas or whatever, or in Europe before you can get paid as an author. But here, the local currency is in play and the local means of getting paid are in play. So to get started, go to africanbooks.com as an author or as a publisher, and even as a reader if you wanted to read your African favorite authors. Enjoy. Well, so I'm recording this and there's a bit of some noise in the background. I just want to alert you to that. But I know that my voice is good enough to rise above the distractions in the background so that you can be able to get me clearly. We're talking about if growth is your ambition, then this is your worst goal. Your worst goal is a good goal, which is to be comfortable. People peddle a lot of that day in and day out and actually get a lot of responses. You don't just find it with motivational speakers, but you also find it in religious circles. You find it in church. The reason as to why people throng one preacher or another is because they are dishing out miracles. They are dishing out comfort. They are dishing out shortcuts in life. But that's not the way life is supposed to be lived. This is how life is supposed to be structured. Life goes this way, that you expend energy, you grow, and in the process of growing, you go through discomfort and so on. But at the point of maturity, you harvest. And the harvest in life is the growth and the maturity and so on, which gives you the capacity to get the comfort that you're looking for. But the comfort is not the goal in life. You are not pointing all your energies to become comfortable. That's why I look at people who normally say that the purpose of life is to be happy. I think they have missed the point big time. Happiness is not the purpose of life. The purpose of life is effectiveness. Its purpose is to do that which you're called to do in the first place. That should be the goal. Therefore, for you to be able to get there, you need to grow. In fact, the goal that we all need to have is a goal for growth. It never, ever changes. Good, better, best. Do not let it rest until the good is better and the better is best. There is no peaking. P-E-A-K. There is no place where you reach a plateau and you're like, I've arrived. There's no summit for growth. In humanity, even in your own individual life, there is no summit. We can always be better. Therefore, growth needs to be the main goal, the main agenda for our lives. But does that mean comfort is bad? Does that mean that we shouldn't be comfortable? We shouldn't seek comfort? Does that mean that comfort is our enemy? No. Take a look at your life for a minute. There is some time that you grew tremendously. Can you remember that time? Can you remember when you really grew? I bet you that there is not a place, a single place where you grew. There is not a single season where you grew in comfort. There isn't. The moment of your great discomfort have been probably the moments that have contributed to your growth, great growth. Even if this discomfort was brought about by elements in the universe, was brought about by other things. You didn't bring this discomfort yourself by rising up at 4 a.m. and, sleeping late and going out to run and so on. But just a struggle or a crisis or a setback or a total misfortune happens to you. If you handled it well, you look back and you won't want to ever go through it ever again. But you will never want to trade anything that you grew from that season. You will never want to trade for anything. The gains that you went through, the gains that came through your life because you went through that season. Someone said that at times, we do not know how strong we are until being strong is the only option that we have left with. In fact, that person was Bob Marley. You realize that you could actually go through the month without some things because of the discomfort. That's growth. You realize that you could actually stretch when you are forced to. That's growth. You realize that you could lead. That's growth. In fact, lead through the discomfort. Some of you realize that you could cook. That's growth. Some realize that they could be having incredible strength that they never got to understand until there was discomfort. Importantly, we realize that the things that we fail to do, for the most part, are because we're hiding behind excuses. We are hiding behind wanting to protect the comfort, the coziness, the known frontier, the understood, the researched, the well-known. That's what we know, because it is in the realm of discomfort that we get to realize how we can be able to handle it. It is in the realm of discomfort that we are able to grow. So we realize that, wait a minute, when I was pushed against the wall, you found out that, oh, wait a minute, I could write. Or you found out, oh, wait a minute, it wasn't as scary as I always used to think it was. An uncomfortable situation makes us shed off all these excuses, all these reasons why we could not do something. In fact, all excuses are always a fortress around our comfort, around our comfortable cocoons that we do not want to get them interfered with at all. We protect our comfort with every excuse in the book, right? We justify, we lie to ourselves. We know, but we lie to ourselves with those excuses, and we keep justifying them. In the landmark book, The Road Less Traveled, Scot M Peck shares exciting insights about problems. Listen, he says, yet it is in the whole process of meeting and solving problems that life has its meaning. Interesting. He says, problems are the cutting edge that distinguishes between success and failure. He says, problems call forth our courage and our wisdom. Indeed, they create our courage and our wisdom. It is only because of problems that we grow mentally and spiritually. When we desire to encourage the growth of human spirit, we challenge and encourage the human spirit or the human capacity to solve problems. Just as in school, we deliberately set problems for our children to solve. It is through the pain of confronting and resolving problems that we learn. As Benjamin Franklin said, those things that hurt, they also instruct. It is for this reason that wise people learn not to dread, but to actually welcome problems and to actually embrace pain of problems. End quote. That is Scot M Peck in the book, The Road Less Traveled. So what are we saying? We are agreeing with him that if growth is your ambition, then comfort is your worst goal. So in January, when you're setting up your goals and your dreams and your wishes and so on, the goals that you normally set, that I want this kind of comfort, I want this kind of car, this kind of money and all that stuff, they are not good goals because they don't infuse growth inside of your life. Growth should be the biggest goal we set. That in a relationship, I want to grow this way. In my finances, I want to grow this way. In fact, finances are the end result of something. In creating value that can be exchanged for finances, I want to grow this way. I want to set up a men's channel that is going to do this and this and this. I want it to have branches here and there. It's going to stretch you. You don't have the equipment. You don't have the people. You don't have the rapport. But you're going to go out there and get the equipment. You're going to go out there and get the rapport. You're going to go out there and recruit people and be a boss. That's growth. The growth is going to deliver the comfort that you're looking for. I hope I've made my point clear. We are going to continue talking about this in the episodes tomorrow and the succeeding days. But the point is, what Scot M Peck has told us, the problems should be welcomed because they are the ones that make us to be able to grow. If growth is something that you're remotely interested in and you want it to happen for your life, then guess what? Comfort is your worst goal. Tomorrow we go on. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Life Signatures Radio. If you enjoyed today's show, subscribe to Life Signatures Radio on iTunes, Stitcher, or visit our website at lifesignatures.libsyn.com. Life Signatures Radio, fresh, clean, and inspiring.